Today I wanted to talk about torture. Yeah. I don't even want to ask you guys how you'd want to torture someone. That's pretty bad. Yep. What I'm going to do is I'm going to briefly go over a couple of ways that people have tortured people in the past.
Weed whacker and salt.
And I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it.
Weed whacker and salt.
Now, for anyone listening,
that's Clayton.
There's going to be a 15 of these. So if you're bored, if you don't want to hear about torture, I don't know, skip 20 minutes.
Well, listen, we're probably going to go through these pretty quickly.
Yeah, let's get through them quick.
All right, so first up.
Number 15.
Number 15, the upright jerker. The upright
jerker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You heard it right. If you came here for torture stories, you're in the right place. This one's called the upright jerker.
This doesn't sound like torture to me.
No, it will be because it's a guy.
This sounds like
with
Clay.
a mask.
Torture.
This sounds like Clay's Tuesday night.
Rough hands. He's got rough hands and wearing leather.
Geez.
All right. The upright jerker was an interesting twist on a classic execution method. Hanging, while it's in a true standby all around the world, leaves much to the desired in terms of effectiveness. Right. Depending on the weight of the person, rope and trapdoor, and numerous other factors, it can be a very slow or awkward way to die. I think this is really talking about hanging itself. It's called an upright jerker. The upright jerker was a modified hanging system that used heavy weights and pulleys to quickly jerk the commend into the air. So it basically catapults you up. It was hoped that this would be a more effective way to break the neck quickly, but it didn't always work as planned.
Okay, so yeah, let me give a little insight on this. This is poorly named because I was expecting something way different. But yeah, I mean, me pass. If I was torturing,
you don't do that one?
No, I would pass.
That doesn't sound like torture.
That's first of all,
not torture. That's murder.
That's too much work on your end.
That's not, dude.
That's too much work on your
to
end.
hang somebody. That's not torture.
Yeah, but dude, that's too much work. You got to get the pulley system set up.
But but like waterboarding, torture. Like that's torture.
Well, we might get to that.
That's murder.
Guys, hang on. 1 of 15. If you think that's wild, just wait.
Go to the next one.
Yeah. Next.
Pass.
This one I think is quite lazy. It's just named fooling. For what's the first thing that comes to mind when someone wrongs you? Throw them off a cliff. This has been a simple solution to unwanted nuisances for centuries. While it's largely fallen out of fashion, Iran still employs the method for state executions. So in Iran, they don't think chair, electric injection, firing squad. They go, chuck them off a cliff, mate.
Yeah.
I like it. That's easy, simple.
Probably not said like that.
As a cleanup?
Well, no, it's like, dude, it's time to clean up. Like, have you seen Yellowstone? They just take them to the train station, throw them off the cliff. They don't even go.
Choo-choo, bitch.
Choo-choo. They just throw them off the cliff, dude, and then they don't get the bodies. They don't go. There's no cleanup.
Is there a spectator thing for that? Because I think in a lot of these places, like Iran, there's a spectating. Maybe not.
No clue.
All right, guys, 13th on the list.
Would be difficult to do in
I
Florida.
might plow through some of these because I don't want people to get bored.
It would be difficult to do that one in Florida, though.
It would be. Well, so with this one. Crushed by elephant.
Yeah. Hey, guess what? I'm a little short on elephants. So we're gonna.
Can we just skip that?
Yeah.
That
You don't want to hear about this one?
Oh, I guess I think I can figure it out.
Well, guessing. All right. Ling Chi.
Yep.
Ling Chi, also known as
Easy.
slow slicing or death by 1,000 cuts, was a method of torturous execution practiced in China. The condemned was tied to a post and bits of skin and limbs were gradually removed one by one, usually culminating in a final cut to the heart or decapitation.
Wow.
See,
It was used as early as the 10th century.
That's torture.
Yeah, that.
But guys, it was banned in 1905.
Wow. No. At least it's recent.
That one's a horrible one.
Yeah.
That would not be my way to go.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that.
No.
I wouldn't like to be kicked.
I wouldn't like to be tortured
either,
at all. I'd give you all the information you want. I'd be like, it was banned.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. If somebody was like, hey, my intentions are to torture you, we're going to be performing Ling Chi. I would say.
It's like I come up on stage. Performing next on the main stage, the lovely Ling Chi.
Yeah. And but I would be like, what's that? Well, we're going to cut you into little pieces. Okay, well, just say that. It's not Ling Chi. Just say, I'm going to cut you. Okay.
If you don't like the idea of that one, maybe you'll like the idea of this one.
Probably
and
not.
it's called keel hauling.
Excuse me. Say it again.
Keel hauling.
Keel. Like a boat keel.
Keel on a boat.
Okay.
Hauling.
Oh.
So you're pulling somebody
sorry.
on the bottom of a boat.
Keel hauling.
There you go. American Ben.
Keel hauling was a type of punishment specifically for sailors, dreamt up by the Dutch Navy in the late 16th century. This is horrible.
The Dutch made that up.
Yeah,
huh?
the Dutch.
Okay.
Offenders were tied with rope and dragged underwater from one end of the ship to the other. While many died from the practice due to drowning or internal injuries, In theory, it wasn't always meant to be fatal. As a bonus,
Well-
there's a bonus. Men who were always punished by keel hauling were often cut mercilessly by barnacles on the ship's bottom and carried the scars with them for life if they lived.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, good. That's
Welcome
not getting.
to keel
I'm going to be
That's
honest.
not
though,
getting infected.
So far, that's probably the one that I'd want.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Dragging through water,
I like the
unable to
ocean.
breathe.
Well, what was dude?
right.
So when this was invented, they didn't have motors.
Well, I don't.
You're gonna sail fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think this was? Like, they're pulling behind a yacht. Like
I know, but so what's the max speed on a sailboat?
I mean, you can go
Probably pretty
quick.
fast.
Yeah, I mean, like you can go like 20 knots.
oh, dude, way faster than
dropping knowledge.
Oh, good for you.
Well, speaking American, Clay.
Well, 25 miles per hour.
Just kidding.
1.3 knots per mile per hour.
This one was used in a movie, and I want to say it was maybe Gone in 60 Seconds or Fast and the Furious or something like that.
Either one
Rat
terrible, but go
torture.
Rat torture, yeah.
Rat torture apparently lives on in the minds of creative types.
It was Fast and the Furious.
People like us. And it has been featured. Oh, hey guys, how do you know that I didn't read this earlier?
Yeah.
As featured in films like Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah, knew that.
Ben looked at it earlier, guys. Hey, guess what it was in?
And
that
Game
I'm
of Thrones.
surprised. Yep. Okay. There it is. I was going to say I'm surprised you didn't pick up on that, but the bastard Bolton did that to.
He was a mean
Yep.
man.
Yep.
I think that one would be pretty horrible. They take a bucket, they put a rat inside, they heat the bucket up. The rat's got nowhere to go other than
Gnaws.
straight into the body.
Yep.
Sorry for that noise. That probably sounded horrible on your speakers.
That wasn't actually that bad.
This one is tragic. The others weren't. Execution vans.
Excuse me.
We read this the only one we read.
China. China has made capital punishment shockingly effective. In a little surprise, it's a little surprise, really, considering that China conducts most of their executions per year of any in any country in the world. A variety of crimes are punishable by death, including tax fraud, arson, and prostitution. Sorry, Clay.
Jeez. Which one?
Prostitution.
Oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense.
Many executions in China are now performed in mobile execution units, vans that are equipped with restraints and drugs necessary for lethal injection. Could you imagine?
Get him.
Beep, beep.
Pull him in.
Who's that
Yeah.
outside? It's a white van. It's
the
got
execution
executioner
van, dude.
written on it.
Jesus, run, guys.
Dude, the vans, which look like typical police vans, have been on the road for about a decade. There are dozens of them all over the country, dispensing lethal justice closer to the scenes of crimes.
Jesus,
oh my
dude.
gosh.
Hey, guess what else is punishable by death over there?
What?
Being a boy, I think, right?
No, being a girl.
Being a girl?
Yeah, it's
What?
like yeah. You can only have like one girl or something. They're kids.
Is it girls?
Even nowadays, I think they got away with that.
Yeah. Is it? No, I think it might be boys. You're right. I think they want more girls. Or,
Yeah, because there's
and they
two-
throw some. I don't know. It's one of them. They throw them off a cliff.
Yep.
They do. Well, that's what they used to.
No,
do.
they have these vans.
No, they go to number one and throw them off a cliff or two, whatever.
Goodness
All right,
gracious.
Skip to the.
We'll skip. Okay, well, this one sounds fun.
Yeah, this is a long bit right here.
This one's called white torture.
Oh.
Well, let's skip that one.
Not what you think it is.
Oh.
While the term white torture can mean any physical, can't read, psychological torture in general, the meaning here is more literal. White torture is a type of sensory deprivation
Yep.
in which a prisoner's cell, clothes, and even food are entirely white. Guards wear all white, lights are all kept on 24 hours a day, and no words are spoken. No color is seen. It was documented in the case of Amir Farquhar, who was arrested in his native Iran and subjected to white torture for some 8 months in 2004. While the physical pain of the sensory deprivation is minimal compared to the tortures on the list, the psychological damage is beyond comparable. That sounds absolutely terrible.
And racist.
I don't know, man.
Well, I don't like that. Well, we're just going to skip straight to the first one, to the number one,
Yeah.
Number
on
one,
this
yep.
list, guys.
Good.
Hey, read that word to me. Scaphism? Okay, guys, scaphism was one of the worst and most painful skin-crawling methods of torture. It was described by the Greeks as a punishment used by the Persians, and if they were to be believed, those Persians were insane. In this form of execution, the accused was trapped between two boats or in a hollowed-out tree trunk and force-fed milk and honey. Okay, that part doesn't sound so bad, but the milk and honey diet eventually caused horrible diarrhea, which stayed within the wooden enclosure. The unfortunate condemned was smeared with more milk and honey and left out in the sun or near still water, where bugs would be attracted to the muck and rot in sweetness. The person would inevitably die either of dehydration, exposure, or bite and sting wounds.
Yeah, that's torture.
That's horrible.
That's torture right there.
Throw me off the cliff.
Drag me 25 knots through some water. Pass. Sign me up for this.
Dude.
Here's milk and honey and rot in this box where insects are going to come.
Imagine that, though. Well, guess what, Mr. Bullman? We're going to torture you. Oh, yeah? What are you going to do? Bring in the milk and the honey. You're like that. Oh, don't be silly.
Yeah.
This isn't torture. I love honey.
Yeah.
And
On my
milk.
Cheerios.
And milk.
And then they're like, no, you need to eat this. And you're like, well, feed me up.
Yeah.
Little do you know.
Just keeps coming.
Poop is coming.
Yeah.
Also, why am I in this wooden tree?
Excuse
Oh,
me.
all trees are wooden, but why am I in this tree?
Excuse me, are you constipated? We're going to put you on a diet of milk and honey to get that poop moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Outrageous.
See,
Wow.
here's what I think torture is. Like, get to the top of a hill, right? Mm-hmm. You take the person, put chains on their legs and arms, and then, so you have a pitch, you have a peak, and then attach the chains to two vehicles, and then start to let them idle, and then they come down the hill.
That's nice.
Anyway,
Wait, like
keep going.
Like if like when people are quartered,
like if they're chained,
yeah, and the car separates them.
yeah, yeah,
Do you know what hung, drawn, and quartered is?
no,
So so this happened to William Wallace,
Oh, yeah.
where they will hang you,
Yeah,
kill
yeah.
you, and then they cut they quarter your body,
oh,
Yeah.
oh.
and then in England
Saying
what they would do.
quartered.
Oh my God,
Yeah, quarter.
quartered, hung, drawn, and quartered.
Sorry, you sound silly.
Yeah,
And they would take all 4 quarters and send them to the furthest points of that country. So in England, they'd send them to like the most further. Or, I think that's a waste of time because you're already dead. And at that
Yeah,
point,
that's too
what
much
does it
work.
matter? The guy's dead. It's like, he doesn't even know.
Yeah.
I would want them to know
yeah,
Yeah. Cut his arms off while he's alive.
yeah.
and take him with you to drop him off.
Take
there.
his head around
See
and
where
just
this
show
one
where
is.
it's going.
What happens when we get to the 4th one? Cliff. That's
Actually,
a cliffhanger.
falling.
Theoretically, you could probably get the arms and legs off without him dying.
This is dark.
Yeah,
and then
it'd be pretty. I mean, you'd probably die pretty quick.
one at a time, real slowly.
Especially back in the
Let
day.
it heal up.
Now there'd be really good medicine for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,